Welcome to Extreme Home Arcades live at lunch. Yeah. What up, guys? Welcome to this kind of muggy, gloomy Thursday here. Is just kind of getting this machine wiped down a bit. Probably going to end up going through some quality checking here. Just let me kind of final wipe it down here. You can kind of check it out a little bit. I'll walk through it, around it in a minute, kind of explain what's on it. But obviously you can see it's one of our Ultimate Pedestals. I was just trying to kind of get her wiped down, cleaned up. Wiping it down, can get it fired up. And just wiping down the screens. Got all the control panel, everything kind of wiped down. Got the Miles Morales Ultimate Pedestal here. What's up, Emmanuel, Loose Cannon, Rob? How we boys doing today? So just kind of inform you, I am just taking a little bit of mineral spirits. That's what I'm taking to the artwork. So it's not going to kill it if you guys do ever get some stickier stuff on your artwork and possibly on your trim. I don't know. You know, I'm sure you guys keep these things pretty clean anyways, but I'm just stating, like, if you were to get some sticky stuff on the side and you can't really get off of like a window cleaner or some soapy water, typically with the artwork, it's okay to take mineral spirits to this and you can wipe them down. Typically, too, when we get the artwork in, sometimes some of it will have a little bit of residue, so it doesn't kill the artwork. So I'll just do this quick, you guys. Oh, there we go. What's up, Captain G-Pop? Welcome to the Live at Lunch live stream. Every Thursday, you guys, we do this, so you're more than welcome to come and join us typically from 12 to 1. Sometimes it might just go a little bit over depending on what we're doing or what we're kind of getting into, but typically usually an hour every Thursday. Come join us, see what we're doing, ask questions, check out maybe some of the newer machines that we're working on. If you guys run into issues, we're more than happy to help. Try to navigate, fix those issues if you're running into any problems, things like that. So, but right off the bat, I was just gonna kind of get into some of the quality checking that I'm gonna do. So some of the few things that I'm just gonna run through, check and test quick. Make sure like our programming PID numbers. I don't think he's getting any guns on this unit. So it's just gonna probably be run through controls. Xbox controllers, things like that. I can't remember what it was all getting on the unit. But I will double check the paperwork here. And I think it was like Xbox controllers. And that was about it. So just let me go check the paperwork. I'll be right back. Is he not even getting Xbox controllers? No Xbox controllers better, right? Yeah, no like guns, nothing, no meat package, none of that stuff. So pretty simple from here. He's not really getting much of anything. I think this customer has one of our units already, and I believe he was just going to get a new control panel made. And then he decided to go with Ultimate Pedestal design. So we went and made that all up for him. And so no Xbox controllers, no guns or anything on it. So it's just basically the machine with that Scantron 8-player layout there. Or 4-player, sorry. 8-player. 4-player. Can't spit out the words. But it looks like I'll have to go, I believe should have his LED blinky license. Which I could go check and put that on so this stuff lights up. Because if you don't have your license, it's not going to light up when it just sits. And then I'll actually have to go through and set up so these all light up too for our 8-button 4-player setup. But just to kind of check out the panel, we have a dedicated exit pause up there. 4-way mouse clicks. That beautiful Scantron layout. Shout out to my boy Scantron. Spinner over here. Got the battleship style box and panel on this one. That RGB trim around it. The launch button. Your flipper nudge on each side there. For playing those pinball games. Got what, 4 USBs up front. Neon ring. RGB trim on the sides too as well. And right now you can just kind of see RGB trim is just on like a random cycling. So it's just probably going to end up cycling through a few colors for us. There we go, you guys. Looks like for this one, we don't have like a background video for this game. Some images we might not have, you guys. Obviously, it's all still kind of a work in process. Some of this might be the newer expansion stuff. And I believe that's, yeah, some of it. Yeah, some we don't have videos yet, but I'm sure David's all working on that and grabbing that stuff too, you guys. What do you guys think of this Ultimate Pedestal? Leave your comment here below. Let me know what you guys think of it. I'm just going to kind of let this cycle through for a moment. I think I'm going to go grab his license file. Or maybe I'll just do that after. Yeah, I won't worry about it now. I'll go do that after. Grab his LED blinky license file, put that on there. And then I also, typically what I do too with RGB setup like this, I'll save your guys' files. So just in case if you ever need to update your drives, things like that. All the RGB stuff will all be saved and set up for you. Here, we'll have a backup file of those that you'll need just in case if that ever happens. So you guys don't have to go through and reset all that good stuff up. Because that does take a little bit to kind of go through the whole setup of all that. But yeah, let's get into it, you guys. So again, like I said, I'm just going to go through some steps of quality checking here. So I'll just kind of show you a few things that I kind of go through and check on. Obviously, make sure like our marquee display settings and all that stuff is like set up correct. Don't forget, you guys, if you do order one of these Ultimate Pedestals, you will be mounting your own TV and purchasing your own TV. All the mounting hardware and all that comes with this unit. So all you guys need to do is get the TV. And then again, for pedestals, game boxes, Ultimate Pedestals, if you guys get guns with these units, you'll have to mount your own sensor bars. So I'll kind of run through that maybe a little bit. Aim tracks, typically they got like 3 sticky pads on the back. You can typically mount that at the top, like middle. Gun for IR, usually top, bottom, middle, left, right. Reapers are the 4 corners. And obviously you're going to have to calibrate and do all that good stuff too along with that. Just because you guys are doing and mounting your own TV and putting all that stuff in. All right. So first thing, I'm just going to check our display settings quick, you guys.
I got the LED blinking.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
If you want it.
Yeah, I'll throw it on here.
You got a month,
feel like
you got a month to get it on there, so
Huh?
you got a month to get it on there.
Awesome. So yeah, the unit it's going to be sitting for a little bit, but that's all right. We can go through, get it all checked up and ready to go. So it'll all be done. So once it's ready to ship out, it'll go. I'll probably fire it up one last time to make sure it's all good before it actually goes out the door. Just to double check everything, because it is obviously going to sit for a little bit. I always like to, if they sit for about a month or so, I still like to fire them up, make sure they're all performing well and doing all that good stuff. But majority of all the programming and all that good stuff, like I said, we can kind of go through, make sure it's all set up, ready to rock for us. So like I said, well, let's do it, you guys. Where'd we get the active background? I think David just added it. It's what was it here? Forget what it was called. Oh, Lively Wallpaper. So if you guys just go online, I believe you can grab this and add it. David just has added it to the hard drives now. So you can kind of play around with it, choose a different wallpaper. Obviously, you guys can close this too, because sometimes it is nice to kind of see what your button mappings are. Here, kind of gives you an idea, when we have that X-Arcade X input program load up, it kind of gives you an idea too of what those buttons are. Typically with the RGB setup, I will have the colors set up like Xbox controller colors. The red, what is it? The red, blue, green, and yellow. And then usually the bumpers are just white. But it kind of just gives you an idea, again, where those buttons will be at. And then on a Scantron layout, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then so it'd be A, B, what was it? X, Y. Let me look. Looks like right bumper, right trigger, left bumper, left trigger on the bottoms here. So hopefully you could kind of follow that. But it does give you kind of a nice reference of what everything's kind of mapped to on the control deck. Things like that too. But once you kind of get familiar with all this stuff, you can always kind of play around too with this, or close this out if you're looking to kind of see it. But you can always open this back up. I mean, they got a few of them that you can change through here as of right now, I think. So you could do like the matrix if you wanted to. Do like a matrix background. I don't know, just something to add. Cool, fun to add that you guys can kind of play around with too. Yeah. So we'll just throw that back up for now. And I'm going to throw his license file on here quick. So I'm going to turn you guys around just because I don't want to be handing out people's emails to everybody. So I'm just going to kind of turn the camera around for now, throw his license on here quick, and we'll get you turned back around. Well, here, you guys can look at that thing. An altar style pedestal. First one I've seen. But basically I'm redoing this guy too here. It's an older machine, I think 6 years old. Computer is built on the bottom, so I'm just upgrading everything in there. But this flips up basically like an altar style, and then he was upgrading to RGB buttons and doing all that good stuff on that. So kind of look at that kind of sitting there for a moment while I do this quick. I'll at least get his license file on, and then like I said, I gotta fix his the RGB stuff because he's got the 8-button Scrantron layout throughout. So I typically like to set all that up so that everything lights up for you guys. All right, let's get you guys back over here. So basically, you just got to put the file, his files. It's basically like his email, what his stuff is registered to, and then like a DAT file that comes with that. So we're all set up with that. I'll unplug it for now, but like I said, I'll save it because I got to go through yet and set up all his 8-button layout stuff. So if you do get like an 8-button layout, I will save that file too as well. So again, it's all like pre-set up. If anything were to happen or something with your LED blinky, you lose all this for some reason, just say you're able to grab the files back from us and put those in, and away you go. So what I'm gonna do here, going there. There we go. But I'm gonna grab the 8-button XML file, basically the file setup again, like I was saying, for the 8-button Scantron layout. Usually I have it saved. So we're just gonna end up copying this and putting this back in our LED blinky. So we'll just paste this in here. So instead of me obviously having to set every single one of these up, it's all pre-set up for me. Because typically most people don't typically get the 8-button layout, you guys. So it's a little bit of a workaround to go and add all those buttons and inputs in. So again, that's just kind of why I saved the file. Yeah.
I got a license now. I got to transfer over. Normally it wouldn't bother you. Thank you.
All right. So yeah, let's go from here, you guys. Pull this out for now. So first thing, let's just check test our control panel, make sure all our buttons are all ready, good to go, you guys. I know I've probably done this on previous live stream, for those that are watching weekly. But for some newcomers, maybe learn something a little new. So Bottom left, start. You can kind of see we got a few things here that we can kind of get into. You know, he doesn't have the guns, but we can check to make sure, you know, the guys put Windows activation on here. Make sure, you know, they downloaded all the motherboard drivers. You know, if there was a new possible graphics driver, we can just make sure all that's in there. We can test our control panel. So those are like a few things that we'll just end up kind of going through right at the moment. So maybe if I kind of try to bring you guys in a tad closer. I do not have the newest expansion that will be coming out. I think David was saying like October now, beginning of October, somewhere in there. I do not have that new expansion, but I do have all the stuff that we have up to date. So I think the newest one was what, the D drive. So I do have all that. So if you're looking maybe something that want to see playing or look at, we can always check into that too. I can always kind of delve off of this and go check out a game, and we can come back and we can kind of skip around. So you guys just let me know. But I'll just kind of keep going here. I'll check back at your guys' comments. Actually, I'll probably just throw you up on the TV so I can see what you guys are talking about. Should maybe just kind of probably maybe invest into a little microphone though, because I know it's kind of hard when I'm in front to talk back to you guys. So maybe that'll be something that we can look into. I know I had one for a while there. But yeah, so bottom left here, you can kind of see if you guys have like Tron sticks, analog joysticks, things like that. You can come in here and calibrate them. Obviously, it would pop up there. You know, if you had like a Tron stick or a bigger Tron stick, and you'd be able to go in there, calibrate, things like that. But I don't have one, so I'm not really going to go through the steps on how to do it. But if you need to, that's how you would get in there to recalibrate like your bigger Tron stick. Typically, I know sometimes like those are the ones that potentially will come out of center every now and again. Sorry guys, I'm just getting this set up on my TV so I don't have to keep on walking back and forth. There we go. So what are you guys saying? So yeah, David's saying 70% full. Just added all the Big Fish games from our Manhattan Project drive system years ago. That adds in around 80 games that were requested for the past several years. Added the latest RoboCop game. Big Fish games were popular around the 2015 era. Any luck finding Circus Maximus Chariot Wars from the original Xbox, David? I believe on the newest drive, you guys, that's coming out, it's going to have the entire Xbox library. So we can always kind of look through that library. I ain't going to be able to play any of the games, you guys, but I believe all the images and all that stuff are on here. Obviously, the list of games. So we could check that out, too. Lots of point and click games, mysteries. Check out Google search. Best Big Fish games, you guys. Yeah, I'm not even familiar with the Big Fish games. So again, a bottom start bar here is your activations for your Windows. So the guy's got the Windows key on here already. Device manager. So usually I'll just kind of look at the device manager. Typically, we disable NVIDIA high def because obviously the sound's going to come through your TV. But we have a speaker system on here. And then usually what I typically would just check for is make sure there's no motherboard errors that pop up inside of this folder or any other errors. Because obviously if there was errors, we would check in and fix all that stuff. Do that. Activation. Like I said, we don't have guns or anything, you guys. So test control panel. So this is like a nice area for those that didn't really know where it's at or what to do with it. But just say potentially maybe your joystick isn't working right or a button for some reason you don't think is working, things like that. This is where you can kind of get in, check your buttons, check your joysticks, all that good stuff from here. So I'll just kind of work left or right, but you can see I'm moving player 3 joystick. So we're all good, our player, our coin, and then I'll just kind of go through the buttons. And just make sure when I'm hitting them, they're all working. And check my 4-way. And check the spinner. Spinner is usually like a mouse, so just left or right. Everything looks like it's working awesome for us. Table view is like another view of all that stuff to look at it. So I think I got an exit, so my exit should pop up. Pause. Oh, pause is mapped to up? Oh, that's right, that's the macro. So what's cool, we can set up pause. It's just through macro setting in iPack, because usually with our pause, it's usually 2 buttons. So we usually will do a macro setting for that, so you guys can have a pause instead of having to do the whole shift. What was it? Player 1 joystick up. So again, if you're always looking, once you order one of our units, if you're looking to have the dedicated buttons, you guys just let us know. We can add that stuff in. So we check that. That all looks wonderful from there. We are rocking an upgraded computer on this, so 12th Gen i7, 4060, that 32 gigs of RAM in this thing. We got that M.2 boot drive with the 416 terabyte drive. So a total of what, like 66 terabytes, I think. Once the new expansion comes, you'll have like 88. So we got into all that. So what we can get into now is we can just go and make sure, like, typically it should already be pre-set up with the spinner and stuff already in there for the PID number. But potentially, you know, if you had a push-pull spinner, Tron stick, things like that, or different guns, we'd go in. I go in and double-check the PID numbers. But we'll just kind of go through that. Just double-check everything anyways quick, because it doesn't take that long. And just make sure we're all good to rock through all our emulators. Emulators. And then again, since we don't have guns, it's going to be, like I said, a little bit easier to kind of rock through this stuff pretty quick. We'll just come into MAME. Typically all this stuff is in the controller file, and then EHA config. And then again, this is where I said, like, where your PID numbers are at. And then since we do have the 8-player Scantron layout again for all 4 players, that will typically take up the whole iPack 4. So if we add any like dedicated buttons like exit and pause, things like that from there, we'll have to put in an iPack 2, but that's all right, because an iPack 2, it can run your trackball, you can plug your spinner into that bad boy. So instead of using like a OptiWiz, and then I forget what the other board is for the spinner, you guys kind of drawing a blank on that one, but there's another little board for the spinner, Spin Track. There you go. It came to me. So, you know, it kind of gets rid of those, but then you'll use an iPack 2 to have all that good stuff work for you. So you can kind of see we're all set up. Looks like the guys did a good job with setting all that up right for us. They had to put typically 5040, I think, is for when you do have that OptiWiz board for the trackball. But like I said, since we're running that 2-player iPack, it's that 0420. So again, hopefully you guys can kind of see everything that I'm doing. If you guys can't, let me know. I can zoom in a little more. But this is all ready to rock and good in here. Again, I don't know what guns he has or is going to be using. If he has guns at home, I'm not sure. So I'm just going to end up leaving all the gun codes the way they are. But typically, like I said, if you got guns, Xbox controllers, all that good stuff, usually Xbox controllers are already all mapped for all the emulators, already all set up. So if you get the newest Xbox controllers, you can plug them in and away you go. If you do it on your own, I recommend getting the dongle so you can have them wirelessly. Bluetooth will interfere with other emulators. Just to kind of give you a little bit of rundown of all that good stuff. So we'll just kind of come down the list here. What I'll probably end up doing, I'll just come back in here. I'm going to end up just copying this. And we'll just make sure all this stuff is in the other area where all our main games are going to be running out of. So like I said, I'm probably going to end up whipping through this pretty quick, but so basically what I went into, there's like 3 other areas where MAME games will run out of. So I'm just making sure all those PID numbers are good in there and match everything else. Check out our golden tee. They got that all good and set up in there. So again, in my Argons, we can probably at least just put our new trackball code in there. And then again, like I said, he doesn't have guns, so I'm not going to go through all the gun stuff. And like I said, I don't know what guns he's going to be using or rocking. Potentially, you know, when customers do bring in like older units, like that Ultimate Pedestal, there's another gentleman that brought in a box, and we're going to end up putting his panel and building an Ultimate Pedestal for him. So usually when you guys like bring in new panels and from older systems, things like that, I'll make sure they're all pre-set up and ready to go for you guys. So if you do bring in an older unit, I always make sure to ask like what kind of guns you guys are rocking. So I can pretty much have it all set up for you guys so that you don't have to go through the whole mess of having to do all this. But if you guys do, there are previous live streams, hopefully that you can hunt down. And I think we labeled them to where you could go in and help. Hopefully that helps you guys out, set all that stuff up. So none of this really I should have to worry about. Again, it should almost be pretty much ready to rock from there, because a lot of it is having to deal with the guns, because we offer the 3 gun setups. So all 3 guns use a different PID number. So it's like, what depends on what kind of guns you guys get. I have to go through all this and make sure it's all set up correct. But I think we're all good to go with our control deck and everything else that we needed to do there. We can double check like our display settings stuff, you guys. So we'll just come into the NVIDIA control panel here. And we'll just double check to make sure all our Video card settings are all set up the right way too as well. Guys are kind of chatting away with the Xbox 360 emulator, PS3 emulators. So we'll just check our resolution. We're all set up good to go there, making sure our smaller marquee. Typically they're 1920 by 340. So I'll just go and adjust this one quick. And again, I don't know if this matters so much anymore with the new third screen setup through Launchbox.
You didn't notice that it's only using the base drive system, right?
What was it?
Right on the paperwork. So you don't take more drives than you need.
There we go. So I just created a custom resolution quick, you guys. Just adjusted it down. From there, applied that, so we're all good, ready to rock there. And typically, again, you guys, we run everything at 1920 by 1080. And again, for like your modern PC games, things like that, or your Steam games that you guys bring in, you guys can always up the res on those things to 4K. But most of your older titles anyways, your main games and majority of the older titles on here, you figure you guys back in the day, they never ran at HD, so. And then again, like I said, I really don't have to check much of anything else here. So. I'm just kind of bringing up Task Manager, just kind of going through the performance part, just to make sure the graphics card, all that stuff that we're looking for that should be in here is in here. So that all looks good there. We're all set up, all good there. So yeah, let's just jump into some gaming, you guys. This one was kind of a faster, easier setup. I still have to probably do a little bit with the RGB. But like I said, I brought in that XML file, so that should all be ready to rock. The only thing that I'll have to do is make sure to go into MAME and make sure 7 and 8 on players 3 and 4 are inputted in there. Otherwise, if we don't do that, the RGB is not going to show up, the colors and all that good stuff for us in MAME or those kind of games. Wow. Before you know, I have like 200 terabytes. I don't know how the heck we're going to run all those drives. Awesome, Nick. Glad to hear you got that whole library and everything rocking on yours. So then again, kind of what I'll do then, I'll kind of run through some of these. We'll go on MAME here. We're going to check to make sure like our spinner's inputted right. Again, we'll put the 7 and 8 buttons on players 3 and 4 in there. We'll go in, probably test a few games just to make sure everything's rocking and running good for us in there. So let's just get right into the arcade classics there, you guys. So again, you can kind of see what's cool, MAME. We got our button colors lit up that we're going to need to play. Got our start. These are our mouse clicks, are our 3 buttons that'll match these 3. So that's why those light up with the same with the 4-way. Got your exit. Your pause is really kind of bright there, but exit, pause are all lit up for us. So let's just, right from here, we're gonna hit our player one coin button. That's gonna bring that menu up on our right for us, you guys, and then from here, I'll go and open MAME. But for those newcomers, again, you can come in here, you can favorite your games. I think you can look at box art. I think in like the Super Nintendo, things like that, you can even look at the instruction manual here on the right too as well. You can even do the flip the box arts. See, I can flip the box. And view like the 3D model of it, you guys. What's even cool in the marquee, there's really kind of looks like gives you a game story and all that good stuff. You can kind of see down there. If we open up MAME, this is going to bring us to the MAME emulator, you guys. And this is more of the general stuff, you guys. General inputs. Typically, you guys won't ever have to come in here to mess around with things. Usually, you guys will just go into input this machine when you go into the game. But I'm just checking on our general inputs and making sure we're all inputted and good in here. Basically, what I'm checking for is spinner. And they must have had to, they probably realized that's why mouse Y was at 4, probably because they realized that they needed to put a different PID number in. So we just fixed that quick to double check our mouse there, but we'll come up here. And usually the spinner should be mouse 1 too as well, because it's all plugged into that iPac 2 board. So we should all be good there. So even if I would hit dial right now and spin it, oh, it did come up as mouse too. Did they not have that plugged into the... Did they have a spin track instead of plugging it into the iPad? I'm curious now.
Yeah, we had a spin track. It was the same mouse as
That doesn't matter. Yeah, that doesn't matter. I mean, it reached, right? Yeah. It reached. Yeah, I'll end up pulling that out. Yeah, it doesn't, with the spinner and the trackball, it really doesn't matter. If they're both one, you guys, that's not going to kill you guys. It's typically do it more for when you do have, obviously, like your iPac spin track and your OptiWiz for your trackball. Usually I'll separate those two, when the spinner's on its own. And then along with the Tron. It's like when you have more of all those boards, usually I kind of separate the mouse from the trackball and the spinner, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Hopefully I spit that out all right and makes sense, you guys. But yeah, I mean, they did put a spin track in here, which again is not a big deal. I'll end up pulling that out. I'm not going to worry about it right now. So what I'll end up doing, we'll test the spinner. So I'll just leave that as of right now. Otherwise, you know what, guys? Let's just rip it out right now. So I'll undo the control deck quick, and we'll just unplug it, cut it out, you guys. Plug that back into where it should be. And go from there, you guys. Go from there. I mean, what's the biggest mechanical drive that they even make? Or what are we going to do when we get up to over 100 terabytes, you guys? So yeah, you guys can see, I mean, they did plug it in there. Blaine and Clarkster, but we'll just unplug it and stick it back in there. It doesn't pay to have all these extra added boards when you have, like I said, an iPac 2 rocking everything anyways. So they said it did fit. Oh, there we go. I'll plug her right into there. Because now we can get rid of that USB too. So let's just unplug that bad boy, get that out of there right away. We'll do this quick, you guys, and we can get into a little bit of fun here in the last like 15-20 minutes of everything. Get that out of here. Again, like I said, I just don't feel it pays to have all this, to be running all this extra stuff when you really don't need it. So let's just get that out of there. Sorry if I was kind of in the way there, but let's just tie it back where they had everything, you guys. My noggin's probably right in the way. Get a good old shot of my face. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So pretty simple. Might as well just fix it right away and then it's done. Do it right on the stream, why not? Let's do it all live so you can see it all be done, right? All right, there we go. I always try to find like the right camera angle so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Or get a little bit of a shot of me. All right, so now we can go back into that. We go into open MAME again. Let's go into our configure options, our general inputs, player one controls. Let's go back up to where our dial is. That's basically what our spinner is. Player one start to input. It's not coming up. I'm not plugging in right. Looks like it's plugged in right. I think I had the pin connects one over too far. Yeah, I think I had the pin connects plugged in one over too far. So since I plugged in something new while I had the emulator up, I actually got to back all the way out and then re-come in. Otherwise, the emulator's not gonna recognize that we had that plugged in. Oh. General inputs, player one. Let's go back up to our dial. Oh, what did I do? What did I do? That's all right. So you guys, did you just see what I did? I accidentally hit a button there. We always do that and redo an input. So just say if I hit a different input by chance, it's like what I did right here. See if it's even gonna. But just say if I set this to something else. But yeah, just say if I were to set this to something else, like potentially if I were to hit down, and now you can see it says down up at the very top, you guys up there. Just say if I accidentally did that, if you just hit player one start again and hit exits again, then it'll say none, and then if you do it one more time, you guys can see it will go back to your original input. So if you do ever mess up, you know, you can always go back to it. But we're coming back up to our dial. And there we go. Now we got our player 1X. And then, yeah, we had to go on 3 and 4, like I said. Let's make sure buttons 7 or 8 are in. So let's get 7 in there. Let's get 8 in there. Same thing for here. Layer 4, let's get our 7. Let's get our 8. So now all our buttons are programmed into MAME for us, you guys. Let's just save our configuration. And exit out of here. What's up, RR? Thanks for joining. So from here, we go and test out a few games. Let's check out like maybe a spinner game. Let's just go to maybe like Arkanoid, say. Let's come to this Godot Classic. Usually this is where spinner game kind of is nice to play this, obviously. You could play it with your trackball, you guys, too, or you could play it with your joystick. But since we have a spinner, let's go test it out. Yep, we have all those games on here, RR. Let's fire this up. Give you that classic sound there. Try again. I'm not usually used to the spinner on the right. I'm used to using the spinner with the left hand. Because I'm used to it being kind of more on the left for me. But I must have the slow one set up. But you can kind of see what's kind of cool too. And there on the bottom marquee, it was switching to what it kind of says on the left here with the marquee, which is kind of cool. Must be an update to Launchbox, I'm assuming, which is cool. So yeah, it like pops up what the capsules do for you. Super cool. There we go. So spinner looks like it's working awesome. Let's go maybe just check out like a Street Fighter game here. Just make sure like player 1 controls are good. I mean, obviously we tested everything on the test control panel stuff, so it's all good there. The ARM Championship. I prefer Street Fighter Third Strike as an older one. It's kind of one of my favorites. But then you can kind of see what's nice is you get those button colors lit up for you that you're going to use. along with, you know, those dedicated buttons, your exit, your pause.
Welcome to the World Street Weapon Race. Prepare for battle.
Let's just go with a Kuma. Let's see how bad I can get my butt whipped.
Prepare to strike now.
Yes, they're configured for every game, you guys. Oh, I should have known better. Oh. Yeah, GM, they're configured for every game, you guys.
Engage.
I was just showing it off for the Street Fighter one, what the colors were. There we go. Well, when did you get your system? Because I know over at least the past, I don't know how many years now, it's all been pre-configured and everything is all set up and ready to go. Just out of curiosity is all I'm just wondering. Because I'm pretty sure I've been doing the quality checking for about I know for sure at least the past 2 years, if not 3 years. And I know every machine that I know of that's had RGB, everything has worked here. So. Well, let's maybe check out something else, you guys. Got about a few more minutes left with the live stream. Oh, I can throw up Kung Fu Master. I'm not really that great at that game. But yeah, let's throw that up. Let's go to L and up. Pop up some of the classic Kung Fu Master. Get off of me. Get off of me. It looks like he's giving me a hug. Oh no! I guess I couldn't win that fight. Jeez. Oh man, I love the classics just because they're so flippin' funny, you guys. All right. Let's back out of that. We can check out a few other things, you guys, here before the end of the stream. Typically, like I said, I'll go through gun game stuff too, make sure all that is good to go too as well. King Bobcat looks like a typical day in my life. I'll kick him bum. Let's just check our golden tees quick here. And I know with some of these golden tees, you guys, I still got to go in and fix some of the RGB stuff yet, because I can see with obviously this version, it looks like the trackball doesn't light up. So I'll put that in my plans here in the future here. I know with that new expansion come out, I'll probably end up, I think I might have set up RGB stuff with that, but I'll have to go back through and double check. I'll get these other golden tee games, these older ones, because I think there might be this one and another one that might not have the trackball pop up, light up for us. So I'll end up going through that and making sure that's all added and lights up for us too, you guys. Just be patient with me. I'll go through and make sure it's all set up, but let's just go in here, make sure we're good to go. So our mouse is in here, all set up, ready to rock. Yeah, I know, I would have lost the girl. So it looks all good here. I'm not going to go in and test and play that one. Usually I think like 97 and 2006 are the ones, for some reason, the trackball is set up the most too. But you can see with some of these other titles, you guys, the Golden Tee, the trackball does light up. I think it was for a couple of these newer ones. So yeah, I think it's like 2005, 2002, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So yeah, it looks like through this like little transition through here, I need to go through and make sure that the trackball is going to light up there for us too. Artwork on favorite menu is updated. Menu is updated. How? Question mark. Oh, favorite. It's a whole kind of thing to go find the video for that and to load it in. I can't remember how we all did it, but we did it on the Guitar Hero machine where I went in and I changed the intro videos. Like, you guys can go do all that stuff. It's just a little bit to kind of delve in to do. So Star Wars Arcade, we can jump in and look at it here. So Star Wars. Let's go to T and work our way up. Where is it at? Here we go. Yeah, obviously if you had a Tron stick, you could program your Tron stick to this game. So I think it's just set up with trackball, I believe. So there we go.
Good spot. Who's going in?
All right, we're going in. We're going in.
Use the boss, Luke.
Ah, it was the boss. One thing.
Fire.
Ah,
Fire.
I just don't like. I don't like how the mouse seems backwards. I don't like how I go up and it goes down. I'm one of those people. But oh, let me get back into that. We'll play a little bit more of that.
The boss will be with you. Always. Good spot, standing by.
Oh, let's scroll here. I'll just deal with it. I don't like it when I go up and it goes down. Yeah. There we go. I'm getting the hang of it now.
Good spot. Who's going in? Use the boss, Luke.
Oh, it's the boss. Look.
Luke,
There we go.
trust me. Yahoo! You're all working.
Ah. Oh, reverse. Let's check that out.
Fire.
Must be an analog controls. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, so analog controls reverse here. I don't know. I'm just like I'm one of those people. Like I said, I like it where when I go up, it goes up, and down, it goes down. I know some people are like it the other way, but I'm just one of the ones that like it's up and down is down. Let's exit out of this. We can.
I'm hitting the top that hard to see what you can do with it.
But now I was used to the other way. Oh, but it does the left or right. It changes it.
Fire.
Oh, I did X, that's why. Oops. I did the wrong one. See how much I was paying attention? I did the wrong one. There we go. I think I got her right finally. There.
R2 join increase the power. I'm off R2. Good spot. Who's going in?
Shield is gone. There we go, you guys.
The boss will be with you. Always.
There we go, y'all. All right, we're going to stop her from here, though, you guys, for this week. Again, I always just kind of like to do a little sign off here. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff below, you guys. Again, Thank you for all your love and support, and we'll see you next week, you guys. Later.